Hi, and welcome to video number 2. In this video, you're going to learn the key to finding good Fiverr freelancers and avoiding the bad ones. Of course, this day and age in this type of world, there are good people and there are bad people. And there are bad people in disguise as good people. Now, they're not bad people all around, but they're looking to either cheat you out your money or scam you or some sort of thing like that. And I've run into several people like that. However, you're going to learn the tricks of the trade and how to figure out who you really want to be dealing with. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's go ahead and go to Fiverr.com. Okay, so right now I'm at Fiverr.com. Now, one thing I want to mention is before you begin browsing, there's one thing you need to know. You need to know what you want to outsource. If you don't know what you're going to outsource, I guarantee you that you will come to Fiverr.com and you will get hooked and you will get addicted because things are so cheap and the value that you get is so amazing. So you want to know exactly what you're going to outsource. Now I'm going to do something a little out of ordinary just because we're going to go into article writing, graphics, social bookmarking, social networking, and a lot of other types of online business outsourcing. So I'm going to do something a little out of ordinary, not really marketing wise, just so that I don't dive too much into those topics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Fiverr.com and I've clicked, as you can see, on the travel section. Let's say, for example, that I want to travel to a specific location, anywhere in the world. I've made up my mind. I said, hey, I'm going to take a road trip. I'm going to take a flight. I'm going to go somewhere, and I'm going to have a nice vacation. Okay, so that's pretty broad, as you can see. So as you can see, we click travel, and you can see a lot of people who are saying, travel itinerary. I will make your travel itinerary anywhere in the Philippines. I will make a 1-2 today itinerary for your visit to Valencia, Spain, and so forth. What I like to do is after I've clicked on a category or I've typed in a specific keyword, after that you click on rating. Rating basically ranks people from best ratings to the top ratings. Now, just because they have ratings does not necessarily mean that you have found a good person. Now, maybe I should change my wording up. You want to find somebody who can complete the job. That is what I would consider a good person, or a good freelancer in this case, because you're going to pay them money. You want your stuff back on a timely basis. Now, because they have a good rating, that could mean that they get lots and lots of people paying them money. Now, if you're willing to wait, a whole week, then maybe this is not an issue for you. But if you don't want to wait a week and you want to wait only a couple days, then what I would recommend, click on rating and then start opening them in different tabs. Now, you can't see this right now, but I'm opening all of these in different tabs. Alright, so as you can see, it says, I will take 5 random pictures of Paris and send them to you by email. Now that's random, so that's not exactly what I'm looking for. I will be your virtual travel planner and guide around Rome, Italy for $5. Now this person, they said they lived in Rome, Italy for months and traveled and so forth, which is good. So they know the area pretty well. Let's see what the people have said about her. One thing to note is that she has all 9 thumbs up. That doesn't necessarily that means she is a very good very good freelancer. Some people I have noticed, they do a thumbs up. They accidentally do a thumbs up, and what they really mean is thumbs down. So you definitely want to go through. It says those are fantastic. I'm really impressed with the great info. I'm really looking into researching blah blah blah. Great work and do. Great. Okay, so we found somebody who does a good job, but it's within 7 days. What we also want to do is we want to do some research on them. Now, she posts a bunch of pictures, which is good. But if you click on their username here, usually if they have other Fiverr gigs, it will show up. The question here is she really a good planner, or is she just somebody who can, pick a bunch of places and that's it? So question is, so she's offering, I will plan a fun Sex in the City bachelor party in New York City. She has yet to get any here, but as you can see, she does have a gig that deals with planning. I will be your personal assistant for 1 hour for $5. Let's take a look at this one too. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why would I want to go through all this research? Well, the point is, I don't want you to get ripped off, so I want to show you what I'm doing to avoid that. I will help you develop your wedding theme, customize your wedding day. I will be your virtual guide. Pick up any city for a room, blah, 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 or blah, blah. Okay, so from what I see, it's so far so good. Oh, so there's a thumbs down. Now, just because there's a thumbs down doesn't always mean that, she doesn't know what he's talking about. Personal assistant, why did the person give her a thumbs down? She marked my order as finished, but never sent me the order. Okay, so, well, that might have not been a great thing. So, one thing I found that works is, okay, she gets 1 negative out of all these positives, and everything's good here. Oh wait, that's a different person. So Conway, second way. Let's see. Another thing I like to do is to figure out, even though they say 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, usually what I'll do is I'll contact them. I'll say, hey, I need this in 4 days instead of 5 days. Is this something that you could do in 4 days? I'll contact them, and if she replies and says, hey, yeah, I can do it in 4 days, normally they want your business, so definitely want to contact the seller if you are in a time sensitive limited time. So if you are, then contact the seller. If they contact you within 24 hours, then I definitely say that they are a good freelancer. If it takes them more than 24 hours to get back to you, I would think twice about hiring them, because you want somebody who is fast at communication. Usually if you look at a freelancer, if they're good at communicating, they're fast, that means they really want your work and they're really looking to get the job done at a faster pace. Alright, so that tells me that this girl is good to go. So in this case, I would go with this person. Here's another example of a good Fiverr freelancer. As you can see, she has, well, we don't know if the person's a she or not, because we really don't know the identity, but this person has 9 thumbs up. We look through it and we read through it, and everything looks good. Now, if you are unsure and you went to the travel, let's say travel section, and you clicked on rating, and you go down and you actually click on somebody who is down here, does not always mean that does not work. Just because they have 1 feedback does not mean that they are necessarily bad freelancers. But if they don't have a lot of feedback and they have 1 or 2, you can still go with them. However, like I said, if you contact the seller of this gig, because you are the buyer, if you contact the seller and they respond longer than 48 hours, then that's a good sign that you don't want to deal with them and you don't want to outsource your work to them, because the longer they respond, that tells you indirectly that they're not interested and you're not really on their high priority list. And while yes, with Fiverr.com, if they don't do the job in 7 days, you get your money back. However, you're going to have to wait 7 days and until you hire somebody else. So you definitely want to do your research beforehand. You definitely want to contact the seller and make sure that you do your due diligence before then. And like I said, another thing you can do is do the same thing I did earlier. See this person here? It says, I will tell you top 20 things you can do in Scotland for $5. So if you click on that Facebook guy, let's see what kind of other gigs he is selling. So some money making information here. Scotland, same information here. I will have a Scottish kid make a short video about your website. I will make a short video about your website. Okay, so his other gig has to do with Scottish. I don't know why, but whatever. I will do any homework for $5. So as you can see, I will have a 4-year-old. Most likely that could be his daughter. If you play this and she sounds Scottish, then maybe he's telling the truth. If she does not sound Scottish and that is her daughter, or my sister is 4-year-old. Okay, so his sister is 4 years old, so that must mean that is him right there. So you gotta be wary. I kind of not really getting a good feel about this gig, but that's just me. If you go through and you don't feel like necessarily that this is something that you want to go with, because there are zeros here, so you got to keep in mind, does this person actually pull through or not. So I'm not really getting a good feeling with this person, but you got to use your due diligence really when you're looking for people, and use the same methods that I showed you, and you're pretty much set with finding a good freelancer. Now, in terms of finding freelancers for graphic artists, video editors, and so forth, we're going to dive deeper into those videos, because different people are different and different markets can be different. So there are different things to look for when you're looking for article writers, graphic designers, and video editors, and so forth.